Yo, Kingdom, community vibes, community ties. Terrance Tucker is the brother who's connecting the tribe.
Boom! Yep, we're back in the building, I know you're mad, I know you're jealous, because you see who's next to me. Yep, he's not being held hostage. He came here on his own. Yes, it's my guy, man, Dexter Peggins Jr. in the building, man. All right, in the building. We're gonna get to this guy right here, but first, let's pay a bill. What bill is that? Listen, if you woke up this morning, give God all the thanks. Tell him, give him all the thanks because he woke you up this morning, all right? The moment that you said, bow, you should have been thankful because he gave you one more day to be great, all right? So give him all the praise and glory because, man, I'm telling you, man, he is the reason for the season, okay? Now, let's get back to my guy here, man. This dude here, man, he's like, you know, he's like one of my mentors and he don't even know it.
Oh, man.
He don't even know it. Okay, but he's one of my mentors, man. He's a good friend of mine, man. Listen, this guy is an author. This guy's a speaker, a minister. Listen, this guy has so much going on for himself, man. He's had a podcast before. I mean, just listen, man. You name it. He's a change agent. Okay, he has helped so many people in his life. Okay. So we're going to get about, we're going to talk about that, because listen, you're going to realize why I look up to this dude, okay? When this podcast is over, you're going to say, man, now I see why he, you know what I'm saying? Now I see why dude's so fly. Now I see why he's so fly, okay? Listen, man, thank you so much, man. You know what I mean, for coming on the show.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Let's get this guy a huge round of applause. You know what I mean? Stand up on his feet. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. So first off, when he came in, man, when he walked in, he handed me a book.
Yes.
That was already signed. Okay. It's called Dear Son, right?
Yes, sir.
Dear Son, listen. Okay. Listen, man. Listen. This right here, man, really touched my heart because most times, man, you guys come in here with these books without it being signed or nothing. You know what I mean? Listen, man, make it special to me. Make it special. But what is this book about, bro?
Man, well, hey, if I can, man, just I want to say, man, thank you for having me,
it's
man.
all good.
Listen,
all
hey,
good.
you put a lot of pressure on me, brother.
Nah.
So hopefully I can live up to it.
Oh, come on, man.
And second of all, check is in the mail.
Whatever.
Now you can't cash it until the 15th. So it's gonna be post dated. But the check is in the mail.
The check is in the mail.
It's coming.
I got you.
But nah, man, Dear Son is my fourth book, man, and you know when I wrote it, man, I felt like it was the one. I don't know, man. It's like, you know, sometimes you might hear an artist say when they worked on a particular project,
right,
they felt something, you know, special about that particular project,
right.
And man, I really felt like this book is gonna change a lot of lives, man.
Wow.
And the inspiration behind it is actually twofold. One of the inspirations was actually my own sons, you know, just kind of watching them grow up, knowing that there's, you know, particular conversations that I want to have with them, but, you know, where they are in their life, you know, I didn't want to put that, you know, that adult burden on them, but also, you know, and I wanted, you know, I want to appreciate them having the opportunity to be children and just enjoy being children. And so what it was me just acknowledging certain steps, certain points that they are in their life, and me just starting to write it down.
Right.
But then the interesting turn came because I volunteer in the prison system. I work with a lot of at-risk youth. I was starting to notice that I was having a lot of similar conversations with men. And a lot of these men didn't have a father. So by some kind of weird way or divine way, you know, they were kind of looking to me for advice, you know, kind of like that advice you would get from my father. And so I just started taking note of it and started writing it down. And as I was writing it, you know, I was starting to see my own experiences as a child, you know, as a son. And now here I am as a father, wanting to be a good father, but noticing that I too have my own shortcomings in that area. And so, man, this book for me, and writing it, man, it was cathartic, but also when I was starting to put it out there for my, the people, the team that was helping me put it together, they was like, man, this book right here is touching, man. It's just doing something to me. And these weren't just, I had men and I had a few women, but the men, I was surprised. They was like, man, this book is messing me up. So that was just the kind of indicator, man, that it's necessary what the book talks about. And when you have men that are really taking themselves up on the examination and saying, man, I got to do better, not only for me, but also for my children. And then I also need to forgive, the hurts that I, and the anxieties and the burdens that I'm holding towards my own father, so I can be a better man. And I believe that this book right here is going to do just that.
So let's talk about that, man. So we know that your father served, then you served, okay? But talk about what kind of lessons, did you learn from your dad that you applied to your sons?
Okay. Man, listen, my dad was a hardcore soldier, man, through and through, man.
One of them, huh?
I remember when I was 5 years old, my dad was a drill sergeant, man.
Oh, wow.
So, man, he used to handle me like his trainees, man. I'm talking about, listen, I was 5, man. I had my shoes lined up under the bed a certain way. My bed was made with the military corners and creases.
Oh, man, Sergeant Slaughter.
But my dad, man, first and foremost, my dad did the best job he knew how to do as a 22-year-old father.
Oh, he was 22?
Yeah, he was 22 when I was born.
Yeah.
And so, by the time I was 5, he's 27 and whatnot. But my dad, man, he was a disciplinarian. But one of the things I always appreciate about my father, he would make the time to kind of bring in the context, the culture and the society, and challenge me to look at where I find myself in the world. You get what I'm saying? And so when I became a man, it wasn't hard for me to identify, the things that are true to my character. I wasn't trying to fit in with everybody, trying to do things that weren't consistent with who I am as a man. And so now as a father myself, one of the things that's important to me with my own children is to really give them a sense of identity. You know what I'm saying? I'm not as hard on them as my dad was with me. They don't have to, make their bed a certain kind of way. They don't line their shoes up like in the military.
Right.
But just like my father instilled responsibilities in me, I want to do that with them. And then also, like I said, they need to have their own sense of identity. At the end of the day, if you don't have an identity, you're going to be looking to any and everybody to define you.
Wow.
And that's going to put you in a very detrimental situation.
Yeah, that's some nuggets right there, y'all. That's what I told you. My boy got some nuggets, man. Listen, man, get your notepads out, man. Get your pen and paper out, or just pull up right in front of your own laptop, because I'm telling you, you're going to receive some jewels today, man. Some nuggets, all right? Now, we know you're a great man.
Oh, man, too
good. But let's talk about the beginning, right? Yeah. So you pretty much grew up here in Augusta, right? What high school did you attend?
George P. Butler.
The Butler Bulldogs in the building.
Great things come off the mouth. Talk about it.
The Butler Bulldogs. Now, did you play sports?
I did.
What's that?
Football.
Football. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Big guy. Okay. So then you went off to college?
No, actually, I joined the Army straight after high school.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, man, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
For the support, man.
And so, when you left the military, did you know that you wanted to be a speaker?
Nah, man. In all honesty, that at the time, that wasn't like a job field. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't a profession that people were publicizing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so for the most part, when you get out of high school, people say, hey, you know, get a job that's going to make money.
Right.
And even in the Army, you know, they say go into a field that when you get out of service, you can, you know, work in that industry when you get out. But one of the things that I always noticed was, even though I had a good job, you know, specialty in the Army, I didn't like it. You know, it wasn't really consistent with who I am.
Right.
But I always liked developing soldiers. You know what I'm saying? I always, you know, and listen, I would give you advice whether you ask for it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? And so, when I got out, you know, I started seeing people, you know, speaking, and I'm like, man, you get paid for that? And they was like, yeah, actually I do, and I get paid very well for it, you know. And I think that in watching them, they kind of gave me the confidence to step out and to put myself out there in that space, man. And one of the best moves I ever made.
Oh wow, man! Listen, man, you've never heard this guy speak. I'm telling you, make it part of your plans for 2020, man, 2021, 2022, and 2023. I'm telling you, he is an impactful speaker, man. I'm telling you, man, you will be blessed by his message, okay? Especially these young men out here, okay? You definitely need to hear his message. Now you're a minister.
Yes.
He's a minister. Now, let's talk about that transition, okay? When did you, because, you know, my dad's a minister. Well, my dad's a pastor. You know, a lot of my friends, they're pastor ministers, and some people say that you know that you're called or whatever. How did you know that you wanted to give your life to the Lord and use that vessel? You know, use him. You know, basically, you're speaking His words.
Yeah.
Right. So, how did you know that you want to be a minister?
Oh man, well, first and foremost, I'll say this. You know, the word says that many are called, but few are chosen.
Few are chosen.
So first and foremost, you got to accept the call, and I ran from the call for a very long time. And the reason why I ran from the call is because I'm familiar with a lot of the issues that I had as a young man and growing up and to be a man, and you know, and I never wanted to come.
How
across
old were you?
When I
became a minister?
Man, I got licensed maybe 11 years ago, man.
Okay.
And so, you know, I was always kind of apprehensive about not wanting to come across as hypocritical, you know, as a hypocrite. But the reality is, the word also says that we become a new creation. And so, even though I am the person who had those experiences shaped my ability to talk about what happens when a person gives their life to God, you know, when they give their life to Christ. If you're familiar with, you know, the things that I've been through, you know, I in essence serve as a catalyst to be like, okay, if he could change, anybody can change. That's right. And so, you know, I think that's one of the great things about a minister, somebody who's given their life to serve and to highlight the personhood of Jesus Christ. What happens is that in essence our mess becomes a message, you know, and I know that's a cliche, but it's the reality.
That's excellent. That's
you know, and people get to, you know, now they can look at you from two varying spectrums. The person who you once were, and now they can see the person you're becoming. And in the midst of that, now you give them a message of hope. And so yeah, man. So I've been. I embraced that call 11 years ago. I said, hey, look, God, you gave me these talents, you gave me these abilities. These weren't things that I asked for. And so if I could use them in any other genre or any other space, then certainly I can use them for you. And so that's what it's all about.
Hey, there you go, man. Listen, man, you heard it here first, man. Only on the Community Vibes, where you meet dudes like this, okay? Impactful change agents. I'm telling you, man, he's all over the place, man. I'm telling you. Listen, if you're in the, let's say, what do they call this thing? The
CSR. Come on, brother.
CRSA.
Come on, CSRA. Come on.
CSRA, man. I'm telling you, man, you need to get connected with this gentleman right here, man, because I'm telling you, man, your life will be changed by his words, okay? Now, let's talk about this now. You're a father of how many?
Two
sons?
2 boys, man.
Two boys. And you know what's going on around the world right now. You know, with all, you know, with the movement. How do you, let's say, make sure that your sons make sure that they govern themselves, you know, accordingly when they leave your house?
Well, I think I had the benefit right now that my children are young. My sons are 10 and 8. So,
Okay.
So if they leave the house, you know, of course it's, you know, with me or my wife. But you know, I do have nephews. You know, I'm connected with older, you know, youth. And the reality is that we have to teach them to be aware of the time, you know. And what I mean by that is socially, you know, we are in the midst of an unrest, but I really believe that some good, I actually believe some great things are going to come from this, you know. One of the things that I often tell people is that my children should not have to fight the battles that I was supposed to win. And I believe that our generation is going to win this battle concerning classism, concerning racism. And so hopefully, you know, as my children get a little older, you know, this will, you know, it'll be a story of the past. It won't be their present. But, you know, as it relates to, of course, you know, whether it be the police, you know, reforming, you know, criminal justice, you know, even, you know, traffic stops and stuff. Of course, you want to put them in a position, you want to inform them, give them information that will keep them safe, that will bring them home. You know, you want to mitigate, you know, confrontation, you know, as much as you can. You know, and at the end of the day, still, you know, follow the laws, you know. And so I'll keep it at that. You know, I know we can get a lot deeper than that, but the reality is, do what you need to do to get home, and let your parents handle the rest once you get home.
There you go, there you go, man. That's good stuff right there, man. That's real good stuff. So, like, you know, when I was coming up, man, me and my brother, man, we were lucky enough to have, you know, maybe about 4 or 5 mentors that really helped us out, man, growing up, man. Why is mentoring so special to you?
Man, because what you said, man, I mean, literally as a mentor, you have the ability to shape the life of a person who otherwise may not have had that guidance.
That's true.
You know, and I can look back as a young man and even as an adult, man, you know, there were critical junctures in my life where the voice of a mentor really helped me in that space, helped me navigate, helped me make the right decision, even got me out of trouble in some instances. And so the benefit of a mentor is they bring their experience and expertise to your current situation and help you, you know, help your framework as far as your decision-making process. They provide another perspective that's going to ultimately help you, you know, get to where you want to be. You know, at the end of the day, you know, no one growing up in my circle say was a millionaire.
Wow.
So all of us, you know, we're making assumptions as to what a millionaire mindset is.
Right.
You know, and it wasn't until I became an adult that I started to making relationships with actually people who were in that category. And now they're saying, okay, well, why don't you think along these lines? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that?
Right.
And so now they're giving me a framework as far as what they're doing to get to where they're at. You know, and so a mentor has the ability to reach you where you are and help you out, man. So when I meet with these young men, when I meet with these young teenagers, it's almost like I'm seeing myself when I was that age or when I was in that position, and I'm mindful of the advice that I would have liked to have had when I was going through that situation. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. So we know what mentor means to you, right? But what about community? What does that mean to you? Community, man.
Man, community. First and foremost, you know, community starts with your home. You know, how can we become the best individuals where we support one another, and then from the home we branch out into the areas that we live, you know, whether it be, you know, in our own neighborhoods, whether it be in our own city. And so community is coming together around a common cause, a common goal, even as the word says, common unity. We're coming around this common goal to uplift it and to make it a success. And ultimately, I have to understand what my position is within that community, and I have to play my part. And if I play my part, then we as a community will succeed. So whether it is as men, whether it's as black men, whether it is as, you know, the African American community, whether it's as just a city, you know, in the military, there's different communities, you know, that we're all a part of, you know, and now to me, what I've discovered is that first thing first, you have to be resolved in who you are, and then you have to understand your part in making whatever that community is a success. And if you do that, and you have the ability to hold other people accountable, I believe that what you're going to see is you're going to see a thriving community.
Oh man, listen. There's no way that you could have, listen, nobody could have said that better, okay? That was the best way to ever, man, break it down, man, because that's what it is, man, okay? But see, here's the reason why I asked that question, because now we know what, you know, mentoring means to you. And now we know, you know, what this word right here, man, community, means to him. But how does it feel being, let's say, a leader and mentor in your community? Because that's so impactful, because not only, you know, you're leading young men, right? You're leading your family, but you're also leading, you know, where it matters, man, in the church. You know what I mean? Like, my question to you is, how do you handle those responsibilities?
Man, that's good. Yes, a good question. First thing first, so here's something that I used to be guilty of. I used to be guilty of compartmentalizing myself. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't want to compartmentalize, because literally my experiences as a minister helped me as a father, as a husband. I'm the same person, it's just in different environments. I put on a different hat, I put on a different title. And so at the end of the day, I understand who I am, because once again, we talked about identity earlier. One of my core attributes is I'm a shepherd. I like to help guide people. You get what I'm saying? And so I can do that as a minister, I can do that as a husband, I can do that as a mentor, I can do that as a father. It's just the title is different in each of those environments. But at the core of it, it's me. Understanding that who I am, understanding that all of my experiences have come together to help me in whatever the environment I'm in. And so all I do is I shift to the environment, but still maintaining the integrity of who I am.
Solid. So, you know, one of the questions that I oftentimes get myself, man, is you do so much for other people, you know what I mean? What's therapeutic for you?
Brother.
Like, well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because we always helping, always giving yourself to other people, right? What's therapeutic for you? How do you stay sane, knowing that you give so much to your community, and you're a husband, you see what I'm saying? And you're a father. What's therapeutic for you? What keeps you sane?
Brother, in my garage, I got this punching dummy.
You let them
get out there and put them things on.
Yeah.
But hey man, listen, you know, I like to fish. Yeah.
Okay.
I like to, you know, listen, I was in the military for almost 20 years. So, you know, I go to the range every now and then. I write, you know, like I said, I've written several books. Man, I even get on Madden, you know. Listen, I will give you that business, trust me, man. I run with them Vikings too, man. People don't even see it coming.
Minnesota boys.
But also, you know, just understanding that whatever the issue is, whatever the pressing emergency is, it'll probably be there tomorrow. I don't have to try to save the world, you know, in one day. You know what I'm saying? God didn't, you know, create the entirety of creation in one day. And so I try to use that same wisdom. And the reality is, one of the things I think that people, especially, you know, the go-getters like yourself, you know, people out here who on the grind, one of the things we have to remember, you know, and I'll, you know, refer to the Bible, even God rested. So if God rested, shouldn't that serve as an indication that we need to relax sometimes? You know,
let's chill,
you know, so recreation, is important. Man, listen, I was just, we just came back in town, you know, from a couple of days getaway, you know, on Monday. So we make, you know, specific times where it's just about family, it's just about relaxing.
Right.
You know, all of that other stuff, it'll be there when we get back. And so, you know, that's a revelation that it took me some time to get, you know, because I always wanted to respond to every email, every phone call. It felt like I was missing out on something.
Right.
But at the end of the day, what I was missing out on quality moments with my family, you know. So
family means a lot.
Yeah. So in order to regain those, you know, we make strategic and intentional times where, you know, all of that stuff, you got to turn it off, and be present.
Right. Wow, man. Hey, man, that's some good nuggets. I told you. That's some good nuggets right there, man. Some good information. Now I want to ask you one quick question. If you can talk to the 17-year-old you, what would you tell that guy right now?
Man, why 17?
17. That's when it got real for you. That's when it got real. For most young men between 17 and 18, 19 right there, that's when life got real. But, you know, like, what would you tell that young man right there?
Man, I would say, man, be true to yourself. Honor God. You don't know everything, but be willing to listen. It's okay to be a student. Nobody is putting the pressure on you to be a master right now, you know. And enjoy being young, you know what I'm saying?
Please,
you know,
I'm telling you, because being old,
man,
it hurts.
I was such in a rush, man, to just say I was grown. You know what I'm saying? Like I just couldn't wait to be like, I got to figure it out. And in hindsight, I didn't know nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? So to the 17-year-old Dexter, man, I would just say, man, slow down, take your time, listen. Be true to yourself, be true to the God that created you, and everything else will work itself out, man.
You heard it, man. I'm telling you. Only on the what? Community Vibes, man, where you hear stuff like this, man. Listen, so now you say you have written 4 books. 4. Name those books for me.
So the first book is The Garden Experience. The second book is a book called Perspective. Another book I wrote with my partner in crime, Dominique Bond, is called Male Self-Care. And then my 4th book is Dear Son.
Dear Son, man, grab that. Now, where can they find these books?
You can find them on Amazon. You can also go to my website, Dexter, D-E-X-T-E-R, Peggins, P-E-G-G-I-N-S, juniorjr.com. Go to the store, online store there. Order yourself a copy. I'll even sign it for you. Put a little word of encouragement.
Nice little message.
Yeah, there you go. But Amazon is the easiest way. Yeah. And then, like I said, you can go to my website.
Okay. Hey, man, you heard it, man. So how can they get in contact with you? Let's say if they need you to speak somewhere, you know, virtually, of course, you know, because we ain't trying to do no pandemic stuff. Or, you know, they want to sign up for, say, your programs or whatnot.
Definitely.
How can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, so the easiest way to reach me is probably Facebook, man. I'm on all social media platforms. So Facebook, Dexter Peggins Jr. I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram at Kingdom Solutions Consulting, all one word. You can also go to my website. Once again, that's dexterpegginsjr.com. And literally, however you need to contact me, you'll find it in one of those mediums right there.
There it is, man. I'm telling you, I strongly recommend that you hit this gentleman up, man. I'm telling you, man, you will not be disappointed. I promise you. Okay. Now we can't let him go. We can't let him go without asking him the magic question. Yes, you all know we got the answer.
Oh, man, let me take a sip of water.
We can't let him go without asking him the magic question. Now, your response to this question will determine our friendship going forward.
Oh, man.
Yes, it will, man. Yes, it will, man. It's serious like that. It's serious. Okay. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Okay. Now, you're a big guy. You know what I mean? You eat chicken wings?
Hey, man, all the time.
Okay. Hey, listen. Okay, now, here's a question now. Okay, listen, man, be honest.
Oh, it's
okay?
going to be easy.
Be transparent. Would you prefer the flats or drums?
Oh. That's time.
Nah.
Hold on. I know you got to edit this. Man, listen, I'm a drum guy. You know, listen, I know people like, man, there's all the meat on the anyway.
Listen,
hey, man, I'm a drum guy.
I'm a drum dudes, man. I told you, flat lovers, you're weird. You're weirdos, man. Something wrong with y'all. Listen, the drum run the world, man. You can do more with it. You know what I'm saying? You can scoop and do all that. You can't do nothing with a little flat. It's flat, okay? Your brain is flat. There's something wrong with y'all, okay? We're gonna talk about that later on, man, because I'm telling you, you flat lovers, you've been hitting me up lately, okay? You're trying to meet me outside and fight, but I ain't following you up, okay? Because drum life matters, man. It's all about these drums out here in these streets, okay? Now, if you want me to eat your drums, give me a call. I got you, okay? We do test take, you know what I'm saying? We do taste testing, okay? I prefer lemon pepper myself.
My man. Hey, man, look, I like them double fried.
Ooh, double fried.
You know, extra crispy.
Extra
crispy.
Huh?
Like my man Rick Ross said.
Extra crispy. Shout out to doggone Wingstop and all them other places, man. Okay? Listen, thank y'all so much, man, for tuning in, man. It's my guy. Listen, please hit him up, man. Hit him up, man. Dexter Peggins Jr., okay? Hit him up, all right? He's here. He's willing to help, all right? 4 feet. And now, what's next for you, big brother?
Man, listen, recently had the opportunity to launch a mentoring service for at-risk youth. Our aim is to serve as the go-to for kids who are on the verge of being incarcerated. We want the judges, the legal system, to look to us as the the in-between, rather than sending them to prison, we want them
final lines of defense.
To send them to us. And so that's the City of Refuge Enterprise. I have the privilege of being the executive director. Got a great team, my brother Cortez and James. Just honored. And so we're working on that. I think with this coronavirus, it's making it a little complicated as far as this upcoming school year, but we're moving forward with that. And also pushing out the book and getting ready to launch a new podcast coming up here in the next couple of weeks, man. So I'm gonna definitely have to get you on.
Hey, get me on, man. You know what I'm saying? Get the kid on, man. I'm telling you, man. Listen. But I'm blessed to have him on my podcast because I'm telling you, man, what y'all just learned just helped me out also. All right, I'm telling you, we all winning. Why? Because each one can teach one. Okay, so listen, man, don't be afraid to learn more. Okay. All right, man. Listen, we're gonna see y'all next time. All right. Thank you for stopping by the Community Vibes, man. And make sure you give somebody a huge hug and kiss because why? There's too much hate going on. Let's spread the love. Boom, man. Take care, y'all.
Kingdom, community vibes, community ties. Terrance Tucker is the brother who's connecting the tribe. You say you won't shine, come get your shine on. You say you want vibes, come get your vibe on. Community vibes, community ties. Terrance Tucker is the brother who's connecting the tribe. Hey, you say you won't shine, we'll get your shine on. You say you want vibes, we'll get your vibe on. But there's no better time to get your grind on.